Hi, this is Trisha with Leadership Theories in our Leadership and Organization Behavior class. I will be talking about the theories that I chose. I hope that you are having a good time learning about all the different leadership theories. Um, the several leadership theories have been developed by scholars and researchers over the years. The prominent ones that I chose were trait theory, behavioral theory, contingency theory, transformational leadership theory, transactional leadership theory, and situational leadership theory. Trait theory strengths. Easy to understand and identify potential leaders based on the certain traits. Integrity is one of them, intelligence, extroversion, conscientious, open to experience, and self-esteem. They are typically easy to understand and identify the potential leaders based on those traits, provides a basis for leadership assessment. Their weaknesses are they fail to consider the role of situational factors in leadership, and it does not account for the development of leadership skills over time. An example of that, a practical application, Steve Jobs was known for his charisma and confidence, which contributed to the success as a leader at Apple. Ineffective application is assuming someone is a good leader solely based on their confidence without considering their ability to adapt to different situations. Another example is Winston Churchill, known for his confidence, determination, and charisma. He displayed traits associated with effective leadership during World War II. And just let me give you a definition. Trait theory suggests that certain innate traits or qualities make individuals better leaders. Effective leaders exhibit traits such as confidence, intelligence, determination, and charisma. Yep. Behavioral theory, while I'm at it before I move forward, focuses on the actions and behaviors of leaders rather than their innate traits, proposing that leadership can be learned and developed through training, observation, and practice. Two key behavioral theories are the Ohio State Leadership Studies and University of Michigan Leadership Studies. Contingency theory is argued that effective leadership depends on the context or situation, and that the style and behaviors of a leader should be dependent upon the specific circumstances and the needs of the followers. That would fall under the Fiedler contingency model. Transformational leadership theory is leaders that inspire and motivate their followers to achieve exceptional outcomes. These leaders often have a vision, are charismatic, and engage in behaviors that elevate the morale and performance of their team members. Transactional leaders are based on the exchange of rewards and punishments. These leaders use the approach, set clear expectations, and provide rewards or penalties based on the performance of their followers. It is often seen as a more traditional and task-oriented style of leadership. And situational leadership was developed by Paul Hersey and Clint Blanchard. Situational leadership poses that leadership style should be vary based on the readiness or maturity of the followers. Leaders should adapt their special style to match the competence and commitment levels of their team members. Situational leaders include telling, selling, participating, and delegating. So the next one is behavioral theory. Their strengths focus on learned behaviors, which can be developed and improved, provides a framework for leadership training and development. The weaknesses ignores the potential influence of innate traits and does not account for the impact of the context on leadership behavior. An example would be a manager conducting leadership training programs to help employees develop effective leadership skills. An effective example would be rigidly applying a single leadership style regardless of the situation. Behavioral theory focused on the actions and behaviors of leaders rather than their innate traits. They propose that leadership can be learned and developed through training. Two of those, as mentioned before, was the Ohio State Leadership Studies and the University of Michigan Leadership Studies. And I have a picture over here kind of explaining the theory of planned behavior. Attitudes go to intent, subjective norms, intent to behavior, and perceived behavior control also. Strong intent and then behavior. Contingency theory. The strengths, they recognize the importance of adapting leadership to different situations. They provide a framework for considering the interplay between leaders and their environments. The weaknesses, they can be too complex to implement in practice. They kind of are leaders in their own head, maybe. May not offer specific guidance on how to adapt leadership effectively. Correct. Using the Fiedler contingency model that we have over here, leaders with situations based on their leadership style. The ineffective application can be misjudging the situation and end up applying the wrong style. Contingency theories propose that effective leadership depends on the context or the situation. They tend to be there is no one-size-fits-all approach to leadership, and the style and behaviors of a leader should be contingent upon the specific circumstances and needs. Transformational theory. The strengths are they inspire and motivate followers to achieve high performance. They encourage personal and organizational growth. Weaknesses would be require strong charismatic leaders, which can be rare, or they get burnout. And they may not be effective in all organizational contexts. Example would be Martin Luther King Jr., who inspired the civil rights movement through his vision and charisma. A leader of an ineffective application could be using transformational tactics for personal gain without benefiting the organization or society. Mahatma Gandhi, through his vision and nonviolent approach, inspired India's independence movement and demonstrated transformational leadership. These leaders often have a vision, are charismatic, and engage in behaviors that evaluate the morale and performance of their team members. Transformational leaders do more than transact with subordinates or followers, and this is what makes a significant difference to people's motivation and their development. They achieve performance beyond expectations in their subordinates and followers. They stimulate followers to transcend their own immediate self-interest for the greater good of the group, organization, or society. Contingency. Their strengths recognize the importance of adapting leadership to different situations, and they provide a framework for considering the interplay between leaders and their environments. Weaknesses can be complex to implement the practice and may or not provide specific leadership effectively. Transformational strengths are inspires and motivates. Transactional leadership provides structure and clarity, and leadership can be effective in routine and task-oriented settings. Weaknesses, they may not inspire creativity and innovation, and they can lead to a lack of intrinsic motivation among their followers. An example is a manager setting clear performance expectations and offering bonuses for meeting targets. Ineffective would be relying solely on punishment and rewards without considering individual needs. Henry Ford, who implemented assembly line production techniques, was a transactional leader. Situational theory, leadership strengths emphasizes the need for adaptability in leadership and provides a flexible framework for matching leadership style to follower readiness. Weaknesses may require leaders to possess a wide range of leadership skills, can be complex to implement effectively. An experienced project manager adjusting their leadership style when working with a team of junior and senior members. Ineffective would be a leader consistently using the same leadership styles regardless of the team's competence and commitment levels. Here, lows, high of support, part of the decision-making, part of the communication as a coach. They can delegate with their trusted decisions, and they can be direct. And my references. Thank you. Goodbye.